Oh, it's the dreaded low battery.
How's that? All right, turn those imaginations back on now. Imagine that you are the director and producer of a $250 million blockbuster movie. You have the finest actors, the best screenwriters, and state-of-the-art special effects at your disposal. Every penny of that $250 million is a waste of money until you sit in this director's chair and say one word. What is that word? Action. Ladies, your life is like a blockbuster movie. The question I want you to think about in the next 60 minutes is, who is directing the movie of your life? Is it you, or is it someone else? Is it someone else's script you're living? Because the purpose of this presentation is to get you to reconnect with your dream, that life that you've always wanted. But when you leave here, not in 60 minutes, but at the end of this day, you will not only have reconnected with your dream, but you will have also started to rewrite a new script for your life. And more importantly, you will have some new teammates. No movie is made by itself, right? Have you ever watched the credits at the end of the movie? There are 3 million people listed at the end. You don't need 3 million people, but you do need some teammates to help your ultimate life come true. So when you walk out of here today, you will have those things. Because if you could go back in time with me to March 16, 2010, I was standing in my brand new, very empty apartment. And when I say empty, if you look up the word empty in the dictionary, there's a picture of my apartment. There was nothing. I was starting over. And right then, a familiar voice popped into my head. A voice that I've heard for 20 years. It was a voice of an old Jedi Master, actually. He said, lost everything you have, Yeah, you know the divorce wiped me out. PT, ready to be a speaker now, are you? For over 20 years, my inner Yoda had been trying to convince me to be a professional speaker. The first time he ever spoke to me, it was June 1st, 1988. I was sitting in a room larger than this. It was an after-dinner speech. I was listening to a gentleman named James Boren. I don't remember what Mr. Boren said that night, but I do remember at one point being doubled over my chair, tears streaming down my eyes. My face, too. Because I was laughing that hard. You've been there, right? You've laughed so hard you can't breathe, tears coming down your eyes. And that's when the voice popped into my head. It said, make people laugh, you love to do too. Speaker, you should be. Okay. Apparently I've had too much to drink. I'm hearing Yoda. Drunk you are not. Speaker, you should be. What? I've never spoken before. I'm 25 years old. I just started this new career in finances. I could never do what that guy does. Yoda drifted away. But periodically over the years, he would show back up. Usually when I was sitting in a meeting like you're in today, and I was listening to a speaker, I would hear this word, speaker you should be. And over the years, I kept creating more and more excuses why I couldn't be a speaker. Well, at first it was, oh, I got the new career, I can't do that. Then it was, well, I got the baby and the new mortgage and the new house, I can't do that. And then it was, well, finances aren't where they should be. Have you ever argued with your dream? We become pretty good at it, don't we? All the reasons in the world why. And what I noticed in looking back is that every time I would argue, it started to hurt a little more. Because my passion in life is speaking and educating and coaching. And I know each of you has that same kind of passion. Maybe not speaking, but educating and teaching, because you wouldn't be in this room. And it all came to a head for me on March 16, 2010. standing in that empty room. When I realized, what have you got to lose? You got nothing now. You got wiped out. I started over at age 46 and started down this new path of speaking and educating and teaching. Now, is my life perfect the way I want it to be? No, I would love to be traveling the world and speaking for $10,000, $20,000 a shot. And notice how I said I'd love to. I'm not quite there yet. But every day when I wake up, I'm heading in that direction. And that's why I want you to acknowledge your dream, because the pain of regret is a lot heavier than the discipline of action and risk. I lived with that dream and fought with that voice for 21 years, 9 months, and 15 days. And probably a couple of extra hours added into it. My point is this. The pain of regret is far too heavy to ignore the voice. Because here's what I've learned in studying this issue. Your dream does not go away. Your dream will not die until you do. So why not acknowledge it and try to make it happen? So teamwork is critically important. I wrote down that, excuse me, publicly declaring your intention is like sending a signal to the world, a signal that attracts opportunities and people that help your dream come true. This is where it's very important to take the next step. Everyone I've ever met has a dream. They have this ideal life. However, if you keep it trapped inside and you bury it, it's a very safe thing, isn't it? Because we don't have to take a risk. If I don't tell anybody my dream, then I can never fall down and fail. Would you give that same advice to the kids you take care of every day? Bury your dream, forget it, don't take a risk. Why is it that when we become adults, we do that? Because it hurts to fall down. However, it's in the falling down and getting back up that we get the success we want. Now, what's the best way to do that? It's to have people around us that can help us through the day. So what your next task is in this action plan is to talk to people at your table. And I'm giving you room for 2, but I don't want you to stop at 2 just because of time limitations today. You're going to write down the names of 2 people, plus their email, phone number, whatever, so that as you pursue this new life, you have someone available to you that you can pick up the phone, or you can, that's the old time phone. We have to pick up the phone after this one. Nobody does this anymore. We can text, we can send an email and say, man, I'm having a bad day. The biter is at it again. Or you know that parent I was telling you about last week? They're at it again. They're arguing with me. When you are having a day, how much better is it to be able to reach out to someone and say, help? Maybe they can't, you can't. I know that your situation is you're all homebound. You can't really get out. However, if you could reach out to somebody and say, I'm having a day, please just spend 2 minutes with me. And I've been told that it's been recommended to you do it during nap time. But when the biter is clinging to your arm and you can't shake him off, you got to do what you can. But write that, and if you've got somebody at your table, there's somebody in this room, write it down now. I want you to spend a couple minutes talking to one another. This is my dream. This is what I'd like to do. Exchange business cards, write down phone numbers, start to create a network of people that you can reach out to. This is going to be the start of your new team.